Hey guys, today I'll be talking about the Zombicide Invader Kickstarter campaign that just launched today on April 10th. Zombicide Invader is the first Zombicide game to be featured in a sci-fi setting. As a Zombicide game, it supports 1 to 6 players as they work together cooperatively while going on several missions, fighting against game mechanic-driven enemies while completing objectives, leveling up, and looting gear. For detailed information on the differences, check out my first video linked at the end of this video and in the description below. Without wasting time going over that again, let's get right into the nitty-gritty of the campaign offered here at launch. An estimated delivery of May 2019 has been provided, with shipping coming in at an estimated $20, though I would plan on about $30 for the US. The art was created by Adrian Smith. I have nothing bad to say about this at all, and it adds a good layer of grittiness that really sets this apart from past Zombicide art, which was more cartoony looking. The core box does in fact come with 3 soldiers and 3 civilians, which makes sense. Speaking of the miniatures, it is called out that Big Child Creatives is the team behind this. First, I'd like to note how happy I am with the recent influx of miniature games, at least on Kickstarter, really putting the artists in the spotlight more. They breathe so much life into the games we enjoy, and I'll be happy when the day comes that a sculptor or group of sculptors are labeled the same as Adrian Smith or Eric Lang. As for Big Child Creatives, they did Rum and Bones, Dark Age, and Besieged miniatures, and they also sell fantastic pieces on their site, such as wonderfully detailed busts that I've wanted to buy for some time now. Knowing they are behind this assures me we'll get quality miniatures in the end. Also, the rulebook is posted to the Kickstarter at launch, which is always a good thing. Read it if you are at all concerned about the gameplay. Now, there are only 2 tiers to back, which I must say I'm happy with. The best campaign in my mind is a straightforward one, and while I like the idea of choices, keeping it as simple as possible is best. You can back it at either $100 or $150. The $100 pledge level is a nice price reduction compared to recent CMON pledge levels and a fantastic price that beats any retail price for what's on offer. You get the core box, the Kickstarter exclusive Survivor, and all stretch goals at this tier. Right out of the gate, the core box comes with 72 miniatures including 18 unique sculpts, plus 1 Kickstarter exclusive without needing a stretch goal, as well as plenty of plastic trackers, 50 tokens, dice, cards, and more. So what about the Kickstarter exclusive Survivor? Oh, that's Allison Cardinal, who is awesome and has an angry chihuahua in her backpack and is my favorite, and she's awesome and I love it. Seriously though, a very cool mini. The $150 tier is a $50 difference and nets you an additional Kickstarter exclusive Survivor exclusive to this tier, as well as a Black Ops expansion. The Kickstarter exclusive Survivor here is another soldier with sweet 3D goggles. He's got an interesting backpack thing and a cool sword, which I like. So what is the Black Ops expansion? It's actually a pretty great expansion. It adds another 6 survivors, meaning 7 extra at this pledge level, but to top it off, you can play the game with up to 12 players at the same time, which is crazy cool. It seems all 6 of these survivors are soldiers, which makes sense with it being called Black Ops. Along with the expansion comes 10 new missions and 3 new tiles, which is how I imagine it allows for 12 player support. For me, the miniatures all look very cool, and they certainly have a different armor set than the core soldiers. But the added missions are a huge plus for me, as more gameplay is always welcome. But that's not it, so I'll keep moving along. To make things harder for more players, or imagine fewer players looking for a difficult challenge, the 3 new tiles contain Mould Zones from the start. Don't know what mold is? Check out the video at the end as mentioned before for more on that. These mold spots, however, are unique in that they feature glowing pods that, when fired at, cause a hellfire explosion, so they can be useful as well. To add to the value of those mold spots, the expansion also introduces the Juggernaut Abomination that cannot be stopped except for luring it in one of these spaces and shooting the pods. I hope you like being chased. Lastly, the Black Ops expansion comes with a new Sentry Gun and Crawlybot, and no, I'm not making up that name, both of which are more powerful and match the powerful starting cards of the Black Ops starting survivors. All in all, this is another 9 miniatures, an additional rulebook, lots of tokens, cards, and other such doodads. This is not the end though. Backers have already unlocked quite a few stretch goals, which I'll go over now. Each unlock so far has included at least 1 miniature, bringing the total almost to 90 miniatures at this point at time of recording. Backers have unlocked several new survivors, with some being references to real-world stuff, like Kara Thrace from Battlestar Galactica or Harrison Ford, so that's a thing, as well as alien survivors such as Val, which I am very happy to see included. Now, if they just add some Red Dwarf civilian survivors, I can die happy. I mean, who wouldn't want to push Rimmer out of an airlock? Anyway, backers will also get an extra spoiler A-bomb miniature, 4 extra hunters and tank miniatures, and 8 extra worker miniatures and 2 sculpts. Also, there is a space dwarf. What's not to like about that? I challenge you to find a negative in that. Giant laser rifles and long beards were just meant for each other. Okay, so I might have gotten a little carried away there at the end, but the stretch goals are pretty fun to see what they add and come up with. Expect future videos to cover both additional stretch goals, additional optional buys, if any are introduced, as well as updates that CMON provides, digging into the gameplay more. If you are interested in future Kickstarter videos such as this, be sure to hit subscribe and also hit that bell icon so you're notified right away when a new one is posted. I try to summarize everything well and get it out as soon as possible, typically the day it is launched. Also, again, if you wanted more information about actual gameplay changes, of which there is more than you might think, be sure to check out the video linked at the end or in the description below. Also, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found the video helpful. I am a full backer of this Kickstarter, so let me know which miniature you'd be interested in seeing painted first in the comments below. A special shout out to my patrons over on Patreon for their continued support. You guys are the greatest, and I've enjoyed interacting with you so much over the last few months. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.